Legacy is what we build into the lives of others while we're still here. 250 years invite us to consider the scaffolding of meaning that carries forward into the future. Legacy is not a monument erected after the fact. It's a living structure shaped by memory, shaped by choice, and shaped by care. And every generation adds its layer to the design. Every legacy begins with foundations laid before our arrival. Some arrive strong, shared values, hard-won freedoms, stories of resilience passed down through gesture and word. Some arrive fractured, contradictions, exclusions, unfinished work that calls for honest reckoning. These foundations form the inheritance of a people, the ground on which each generation stands. And that ground is never neutral. It carries the weight of what was built well and the weight of what was left undone. Each generation receives that ground and faces the same essential question. How do we build upon what we've been given in a way that honors the best of it and honestly addresses the rest? In that choice, legacy takes its next shape. And building is exactly what each generation does, whether consciously or not. Legacy grows through the decisions, the actions, and the commitments that strengthen the structure. A mentor who teaches patience to someone who's never been shown it. A community that expands its circle of belonging when it would have been easier to keep it closed. A generation that chooses honesty, repair, and courage as its primary building materials. These are the beams that carry steadiness. These are the beams that carry humanity. Together they form the lived expression of what a people truly value, measured not in what they declared, but in what they actually built. And this act of building, of adding one's layer to the structure, belongs to every people on earth. It speaks no single language. It requires no particular landscape. It surfaces wherever human beings choose to carry meaning forward with intention. In the Himalayas, a family passes down a craft that sustained them for centuries, teaching each child not only the skill, but the story woven into every stitch, every pattern, and every carefully made thing. In the Pacific Islands, a community preserves a navigation tradition that reads the ocean as a living map, ensuring that knowledge, born from centuries of careful observation, survives into a changing world. In North America, an indigenous nation rebuilds a language nearly lost to colonization, restoring identity through words that carry the memory of ancestors in every syllable. Across continents, across generations, legacy sustains itself as a living relationship between past and future, the shared human act of carrying meaning forward with care, with honesty, and with intention. 250 years give a young nation the opportunity to see its own architecture clearly, to recognize those who expanded the definition of belonging when it would have been easier to keep it narrow, to honor those who carried the nation's ideals forward through eras when those ideals were withheld from them, who believed in a promise and held it carefully until the nation found the courage to keep it. To remember those who rebuilt after loss, held memory through hardship, and refused to let the nation's contradictions become the nation's conclusion. America's architecture continues rising. It's shaped by the choices this generation makes now, by what we choose to strengthen, by what we choose to repair, and by the courage we choose to practice together. So where does legacy actually live? It lives in the meaning we carry, the care we offer, the truth we face with open eyes, and the future we prepare for those who will stand where we stand now. It lives in the choice to build with intention, to strengthen what endures, to repair what calls for repair, and to widen the space where belonging lives. Every generation that builds with honesty and care adds its beam to the architecture. Every act of courage, every choice to include, every decision to repair rather than abandon, These form the structure that outlasts us all. Because the architecture of legacy rises one human act at a time, and every act of care becomes a beam that holds the future. Take care. Stay connected.